Hannah placed her faith in washing her hands with clean water and her strong black soap before any examination, and because of this she lost far fewer patients. None, as a matter of fact, except those who were too far gone for any remedy, for things without remedy must be without regard. She made her own black soap every March, enough to last the year long, burning wood from rowans and hazelwoods for the ashes that would form her lye, using licorice-infused oil, honey, and clove, adding dried lavender for luck and rosemary for remembrance. Ladles of liquid soap were poured into wooden molds, where they hardened into bars. For this soap was most often asked for by the women from town. They said a woman grew younger each time she used it. If she had sorrows, the soap washed them away. And if there was an illness in the house, it would not spread, for the herbs in the soap defeated fevers and chills. It was a sort of recipe one could add to however one saw fit. Maria made Hannah's black soap when the moon was waning, adding local ingredients, aloe vera and hibiscus. It was a hot night, and Maria was burning up, using the largest iron pots in the house. The soap was so fragrant, bees awoke, birds sang at an hour when they should have been silent, and fussy babies suddenly slept through the night. When she was done making the soap, she fell into her bed and didn't wake for 18 hours. It took a huge amount of energy and focus to make this soap, and because of this, whoever used it would benefit and appear younger, perhaps by as much as 10 years. In the morning, women from Wilmstead and from all over the countryside came to buy the bars wrapped in brown paper tied with string. Even Audrey was impressed by the profits Maria brought in. She tried the soap herself, and when she looked in a mirror, she was surprised to see she was as pretty as she had been as a girl. Together they lifted the old black cauldron to hang on the metal pole over the wood fire. Ashes floated up in a fiery mist. To the mix they added roses from the garden, lavender that had grown by the gate, herbs that would bring luck and protect against illness. Sparks flew and changed color as the rose from yellow to blood red. Making this soap was hard work, and soon enough Franny was overheated. Sweat fell into her eyes, and her skin turned slick with a sheen of salt. It seemed like a wonderful science experiment, for the ingredients must be carefully measured and added slowly so that they didn't burn. She and her aunt took turns stirring the mixture, for it required a surprising amount of strength, then poured ladles of liquid soap into wooden molds that were kept on the shelves in the potting shed. The liquid soap in the molds hardened into bars. Inside each was a dash of shimmering color, as if each contained the essence of the roses they had added. They wrapped the bars in crinkly cellophane. As they did, Isabel appeared younger, almost as if she was still the girl she had been before she'd come to Magnolia Street. Franny's own complexion was so rosy from the hours of handling the soap that drowsy bees were drawn to her, as if she were a flower they couldn't resist. The sisters washed their aunt with warm water and black soap, then dressed her in white. Maybe it was the black soap she washed with that made her skin seem illuminated. Whatever the reason, she was hot to the touch and impossible to ignore. Some things, when they change, never do return to the way they once were. Butterflies, for instance, and women who've been in love with the wrong man too often. Although she'd never believe it, those lines in Jillian's face were the most beautiful part about her. They reveal what she's gone through and what she survived and who exactly she is, deep inside. At twilight, they will always think of those women who would do anything for love, and in spite of everything, they will discover that this, above all others, is their favorite time of day. It's the hour when they remember everything the aunts taught them. It's the hour they're most grateful for. Always throw spoiled salt over your left shoulder. Keep rosemary by your garden gate. Add pepper to your mashed potatoes. Plant roses and lavender for luck. Fall in love whenever you can. There are no spells for many of the sorrows in this world, and death is one of them. Never be without thread, she told the girl. What is broken can also be mended. If they called her beautiful, it was a mark against them, for what a person could not be seen with the naked eye. These are the lessons to be learned. Drink chamomile tea to calm the spirit, feed a cold, starve a fever, read as many books as you can. Always choose courage. Never watch another woman burn. Know that love is the only answer. Anything whole can be broken, Isabel told her, and anything broken can be put back together again. The world will do enough to us. We don't have to do it to ourselves. She had wanted to be a bird, but now she knew that even birds are chained to the earth by their needs and desires. When you truly love someone and they love you in return, you ruin your lives together. That is not a curse. It's what life is, my girl. We all come to ruin, we turn to dust, but whom we love is the thing that lasts. I just do the best I can to face what life brings me. That's the secret, you know. That's the way you change your fate. Always leave out seeds for the birds when the first snow falls. Wash your hair with rosemary. Drink lavender tea when you cannot sleep. Know that the only remedy for love is to love more. Some stories begin at the beginning and others begin at the end. But stories change depending on who tell them, and stories are nothing if you don't have someone to tell them to. If you can't eat chocolate cake for breakfast, what's the point of being alive? There are some things you have only once in a lifetime, and then only if you're lucky. There are no witches, only people who want to burn them. What a life she had, most of it unexpected. She would not have had it any other way, not even the losses. This life was hers and hers alone. The Book of the Raven was meant to go to the next woman who needed it. It might sit on the shelf for another 300 years, or it might be discovered the very next day. Either way, it would continue to live, for people often find the books that they need. How once a long time ago, before we knew who we were, we thought we wanted to be like everyone else. How lucky to be exactly who we were.